Okay, so I'm here at Hope Thru Soap. I've got to unload, if we can see this, I've got to unload everything from inside the Forester and bring it on inside. And then I'm going to start setting up the lighting setup for the interview and then walk you through that so you guys can see just how I do it, and hopefully you'll learn something today.
So this is the interview of Jason Winter that I recorded from the Hope Thru Soap, the mobile shower experience video that I made back in the fall. This is actually a very deep warehouse, right? So what you're going to see is, even though it looks evenly lit, this is actually lit in a couple stages, and everything's a little spaced out. So let's break this down so we can see how we're creating this effect and this look.
It's pretty dark in here. Apologize for that. I don't know where the light switch is to turn on these lights. Luckily I can have those running, so I've got some little bit of light so I can actually start moving stuff around. We're super proud of the trailer, so I want to try to see if I can get him sitting right here. And so in order to do that, I've got to move all these bags right here out of the way. I just hope those were just there to be there and they weren't actually organized in a specific way. Okay, so I anticipate the framing to be about like this, just a little bit wide. That way we can see the trailers and what they're working with. Because they're here, we're shooting down that way. The open space is this side of the frame, so our eye line is going to be here. So I need to set the camera there, my chair beside the camera, but because they're looking this direction, I also want to put the light source right there, so that way they're facing the light source and the light source is falling off their face more. So what I'm thinking, and why I put this microphone stand here, is because it has this nice boom arm, and I'm going to attach our diffusion roll to the boom arm, let that hang down, and then we're also going to place our softbox behind that as well. So that way there's 2 layers of diffusion inside the softbox and then another layer of diffusion, but that also helps to make the light source larger as well. So it's kind of going through 3 layers of diffusion before it hits our talent, which should help because this is a highly reflective surface. We don't want any hard light hitting that directly, and then it should just be broad enough, since we're going wide angle, to really allow him to get fully lit with one light source. So hopefully that'll work out.
So this roll is actually pretty awesome. This is a see-through tablecloth that I picked up at Party City. I think it was like anywhere between $15 to $20 for a roll. Thing has lasted me, I don't know, probably 3 years now. It's super cheap, but super effective because it has this really interesting texture that you can see on it that works extremely well to diffuse the light, and the fact that it comes on a roll, I feel like it's a lot more effective than, just a generic shower curtain. So I'm cutting it out with a knife, and then I'm going to put a double layer and then hang that over the mic stand.
When you don't have to buy premium stuff, don't buy premium stuff.
So I'm setting up this Interfit Studio mono 100 watt LED light kit that I got from B&H. B&H runs these daily specials, so I'm always keeping my eye on that to see like what's going to be on sale. These things are basically an equivalent to an Aperture 120D, right? But they are basically a fraction of the price. Not sure if I would completely recommend them because one of these lights ended up acting up on me. I just mailed it to the repair facility today, actually. It's still under warranty. They're under a year warranty, which is pretty nice. And then that's the included softbox. One thing about that, though, is I actually nearly knocked myself out the first time I opened one of these things.
See that? Hit me in my jaw, about knocked me out. Really should have put that on the warning label. Oh, you got it. Warning, product will knock you out.
But I'm serious about that. It really, really hurt my jaw. But yeah, it is a super cool softbox. I mean, dual stages of diffusion, and then there's even enough room for a grid to be added. So I feel like the value is there. It's just that if I not had that mechanical problem with one of the lights, I would be just giving a glowing review. But it's wonky. It would cut back down all the way to 0, pop back up to 100, wouldn't go past 50% dim. So, just something to be mindful of.
We got that going. I'm going to set up the camera so we can start figuring out what we need to do. Probably going to open that back door so we can let in some natural light, so that way we can kill these overhead lights. Show you guys that this is doing what I wanted it to do. I'm sitting where Jason will be sitting, looking the direction he's going to be looking, and that's where the camera-ish is going to be. So you see how a lot of dimension to the face here. It just shows the shape better than if it was coming from this side. This would be your shadow area. It would just, that usually just feels a little flat to me. So I like this. However, super dark and dramatic right now. So I'm gonna see if I can open up the back so we can put some more light in here and then figure out where the rest of the lights need to go. All right, this is looking much better, but we're still super dark right there. So I'm putting a light in between both of those buses, and it's gonna actually shine and illuminate this area. So people will tell you, oh, you need this camera, oh, you need this lens. Nah, man, what you really need are extremely long extension cords. Like 25 to 50 feet, so you can plug a light that's in over there into a wall outlet. It's all the way over there. Look at that distance. Extension cords. Don't overlook extension cords.
I'm setting up the Falconized 12T. It's kind of like a 1x1 flexible LED panel. I'm going to attach that to the C-stand, and my intent is to boom that over top of Jason. So it's going to act as a sort of like hair light, but it's also going to be illuminating the trailer and then giving us almost like some reflected backlight and reflected fill light. So we're going to use the sort of metal surface of the trailer to our advantage here. Really could have used a second shooter or at least an assistant on this day, but as I was donating my time for this video, I wanted to limit the amount of favors I needed to call in. So to help me out, I brought my mannequin head that I just call Fred because I think it's hilarious. So I brought that with me so I could still see what the light was doing as I was setting everything up. So let's just take a step back, see what the light situation going on. Got a hair light there. Got a bounce, pushing some light underneath to fill in the shadows. Giant key light source right there. We've got a 100-watt COB LED light, bouncing light off of the bus, but also giving us the soap coloring. And then I stuck another LED panel under there with a silver reflector underneath to push light and just scatter those photons all around across the floor. And it's also helping to get us some glare in the back. And then of course we've got the back opened up. Got our audio set there. We're gonna do a little bit more tweaking on this once we've got Jason in the chair, and then this is where I will be. So yeah, pretty interesting how it looks super dark from our eyes, but then when you actually look at the final frame, it's very bright. Just goes to show how video is an illusion. And if you understand the rules and how it's put together, you can make that illusion work in your favor. So hope you learned some stuff. Hope that was helpful. If you would have done the lighting situation in a different way, definitely let me know. I'm always open to learn myself. I'm not at all a master cinematographer here. I'm just a really big lighting geek and just love this type of stuff. So hope you guys take care and keep telling amazing stories.